Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC and sometimes kaiju battles.
Monsters! Absolutely monsters.
This is the channel where we talk about whatever we want to talk about that's related to movies and comics and TV shows and Godzilla.
There are Godzilla comics.
There are actually Godzilla comics, yeah, and I think Marvel actually did them in IDW, so.
Yep. There are King Kong comics.
There are. But I want to state, now you said you weren't that excited about this. Tiffany was.
Yeah, well, my wife Tiffany loves Godzilla. I am not a kaiju guy.
What?
You know?
How are you not a kaiju guy? You strike
care.
me as like an Ultraman fan. For those who don't know, Ultraman's a giant growing superhero that fights the kaijus for us.
I don't care about that stuff. I'm not a Super Sentai guy. I'm not a kaiju guy.
See, I'm a Power Rangers, Super Sentai, kaiju. Like, I love all that Japanese stuff. So
yeah, I watched a little bit of Power Rangers, but like outside of that, you know, I also watched a little bit of VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs and Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. But like, so did everybody, you know. But otherwise, but I fell off it. It was very easy to fall off of it for me. Like, let's put it that way.
Well, I was really excited about this because I loved the first two Godzillas. I loved Skull Island.
Right.
I will say I'm not the biggest King Kong fan versus but I love Godzilla.
Right. So I think that's fair. I mean, I'm sure people appreciate Kong, and I'll bet there were some people who really enjoyed Skull Island, but you know, you're here for the Zilla, and I get that.
Yeah,
and I don't blame you because I love watching him do stuff too.
Which I think is my only actual complaint about this. We got a lot of kaiju fights, still less than I would have preferred, but we still got a lot of kaiju fighting. We got a lot of big battles. We got a lot of CG effects. But to me, this didn't actually feel like an even balance of Godzilla versus Kong, and I think that's my only real complaint. This felt like they wanted to do another Kong movie, but Kong did not do as well as Godzilla. And so they decided to do a Kong movie about the center of the earth that happened to have Godzilla roaming around the ocean.
I mean, they were definitely building towards this. They've been teasing a Kong versus Godzilla probably since the first Godzilla movie.
I did research on that.
Yeah.
Toho, the owners of Godzilla, gave them the rights to do Kong and Godzilla and two Godzillas and then this finale. That was the arrangement to make this Monsterverse. There's actually no plans to continue the Monsterverse regardless of the sales of this, though, because Toho apparently wants to make their own new Godzilla universe again.
Well, they like to do that. Remember, right after they made that horrible Matthew Broderick movie, they came out with Godzilla 2000, and that was their way of being like, Americans can't make Godzilla movies, see? And
right, so
going completely off the beaten path and making their own Godzilla stuff.
Well, that was because we did such a bad job with that horrible Godzilla movie.
I mean,
we turned him into a iguana. That's not Godzilla.
Yeah, no.
Fun fact, they had Godzilla defeat Zilla, which is what that one got dubbed later in like the 2010s and like
I
the
think that was in
CG
Godzilla
ever.
2000. Yeah.
Was it 2000? Maybe.
Yeah, that was their way of being like, haha, you suck.
I've seen so many Godzilla movies, they're all kind of a blur, so it's just Godzilla fights things.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But no, I actually really did enjoy this. I enjoyed the idea of taking it to be a Kong thing and kind of use this as a way to parlay more Kong. And talking to Natalie about it, it actually made sense what they did, though I still wish we got more of a centric Godzilla plot. Godzilla's plot really is Godzilla's the king of the monsters.
Right.
Mankind or nature creates bigger monster. Godzilla fights bigger monster. Godzilla wins. That's the plot.
That's it. Unless it's Shin Godzilla, in which case it's like, ugh.
Kong's storylines are more traditionally about the mystery and intrigue, and by the way, a giant ape happens to live on this world, and we need to figure out this like almost Indiana Jones style adventure while there's a King Kong running around trying to either kill us or work with us. Depends on what take you're going with King Kong.
I mean, for me, the King Kong story is just the one. He lives on an island with big stuff. They take him and bring him to New York. He dies. That's all King Kong is. So seeing them do anything else with him, I'm like, neat, I guess. When is he going to climb the Empire State Building and die? I mean, like, does that ever happen in this universe? I guess not. But, like, that's fine. But, you know, whatever. I liked the Peter Jackson King Kong movie back when that came out.
That was a good one. I like that, yeah.
I really dug it, and I was, like, sad. You know, I was like, oh, like, you know, it's too bad he dies. So for this movie, it's like, we're not doing that. We're not doing the he falls in love with a lady and he protects her and he dies on the on the building and he twists beauty killed the beast. No, we're not doing that. He's gonna go to the center of the earth and he's gonna have a chair. Like
See, I liked that though because it elaborated on the mysteries that were presented in Skull Island.
Oh, I'm cool.
And we
with
got
that.
to see more of where did he come from? Oh, he came from the center of the earth, which does open up the doors for a lot more possibilities. Because now we have the Hollow Earth theory, we have the Godzilla theory in this universe, we have all the king monsters, we have Ghidorah. I always mispronounce it. It's Ghidorah. What are those? The Hydra.
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah. Yeah, Ghidorah. I always say it wrong.
It's Ghidorah. Like for us Gaijins, it's Ghidorah, but I believe it's Ghidorah.
I think you got it closer than I can. But you can definitely tell that that's what they wanted. It almost feels like initially they wanted to do 2 Kong movies, but I don't think Kong did nearly as well as the Godzilla movies.
There's no way. But it did. I think it made its money. I think it did well enough, But I think at the end of the day, the reality is most folk want to watch a Godzilla movie more than a Kong movie, which I don't blame them for, because there is a continuity there. There's an expectation. There are multiple Godzilla movies. There are not multiple Kong movies. It's about a monkey that's big that dies. That's all the Kong stories, except for that one really bad Kong versus Godzilla movie before this one.
Actually, I'm a little shocked. King Kong Godzilla made pretty much even amounts of money.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know why they did... Godzilla got a sequel. What I'm saying is, I felt like that they didn't want to do a sequel to
I don't blame them.
King Kong, and that they were like, well, the story that we have for King Kong we'll put into the Godzilla movie, which is why they meet up. Kong's going to do something, and Godzilla's going to find him. Now, I do appreciate that they kept Godzilla as the king of the monsters. Godzilla wins. And it really wasn't much of a fight.
No. I mean, just the action set pieces were kind of awesome. They got to fight in the ocean. They got to fight in a city. They got to fight on land. It's okay, you got them all. But I mean, if you put the monkey in the ocean, he's going to die.
What? As soon as Godzilla started to attack the battle carriers, I'm like, I don't see how this is going to work for the monkey.
No.
You've now established Godzilla's pretty down. Yeah. I think you've established that Godzilla's pretty ferocious in the ocean. Yeah. What is Kong gonna do? Oh, he's gonna jump from battleship to battleship and then sink.
Yeah. And pretty spectacular stuff overall.
I mean, our chat on Twitch is saying the monkey's in trouble.
Yeah, he is in trouble. Good thing he got that axe, which was pretty dope. I was like, that's fun. That's a fun addition.
Yeah, I liked how they did that. They established that Godzilla can trounce Kong. That was pretty much established pretty early on. Like, Kong's gonna need an advantage. As an axe made at a Godzilla scale.
Yep, pretty dope. Although I will say, in that spectacular moment where Godzilla fires his laser beam and then Kong deflects it by absorbing it into his axe. His axe is way up here. And he's firing over Kong. No. Aim down, Godzilla, and just blow him away. And we were talking about this because we had a watching party for it. And I was like... because it came up, and I'm like, maybe once he makes the connection with the scale, he can't break the connection.
That's got to be it. Yeah.
So if Kong were to have been able to swing the axe behind Godzilla, he would have been zapped by his own blade. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is,
you're trying to overthink how Kong and Godzilla are going to fight this.
Right. And it's that's fine. It's just it was fun to watch them smack the hell out of each other and break a lot of buildings. It was that's the movie. That's why I'm there. Which is why every time we go into we went to a boardroom or a building where a bunch of people are doing nonsense, I'm like, who cares?
Well, I mean, that's the argument for every Godzilla movie that America tries to make, where they're like, we got to make the human cast important.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you don't. I want to see them fighting.
Yeah, but it would just cost too much to have a 90-minute fight.
Japan does it right. Just put 2 people in costumes and have them slug it out.
That's right. Yeah. But it's fun. You know, I enjoyed it as well as I could ever enjoy a kaiju fighting movie. You know.
I also liked the plot that they did giving Godzilla, where they did bring it together. Godzilla's hunting down Gojira, you say it. Gojira's mental capacity brain skull being put into Mecha Godzilla. I was
First of all, Mecha Godzilla. Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, that right there was awesome.
My only nitpick, because they're using... And then I realized, like, oh, actually, that kind of makes sense, because Gojira has, like, 3 heads. They're all sentient.
Yeah.
And they only have the one skull. So it's only the one Gojira that they're... Or, whatever the hell.
We've established we can't say it properly, so...
Yeah. But there's only the one skull they have linked up. But I was really hoping that, like, because Mechagodzilla clearly is, like, a nightmare of... Like, don't even try to explain how he works. That his arms were going to, like, transform into 3 different heads and get, like, a Mechaghidra. Instead, we just got, like, evil Mechagodzilla, which is fine. It was still cool.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked having it there. I liked how they had to team up. It was funny because when the movie started up and we kind of, that's the core to Mechagodzilla. Houston was like, okay, so they're going to fight. Godzilla's probably going to win, and then they're going to team up for Mechagodzilla.
Yep. Yep. Which is every superhero fight.
Yeah, that's basically what they did.
Right.
So I did a little bit of research. The ending ends it very definitively, and our HBO Max glitched out, so I couldn't see about a post-credit scene. So I Googled it. Oh, is there a post-credit scene? There is none because they wanted a finale. So they don't know if they're going to have the rights to Godzilla after this. It's not off the table, but Toho has the decision of whether or not they want to re-up with the US side or do their plans.
Okay.
So what they wanted to do, and I appreciate this, they wanted a definitive ending where you're like, okay, Kong's happy in the Hollow Earth, Godzilla's on the surface of the King of the Monsters, they won't technically run into each other anymore, problem solved. But they also wanted to leave the mysteries open by showing Kong in the Hollow Earth so that they could continue this, provided there is a continuation to this whole thing.
Yeah. And that's fine with me. I'm happy with that because at least we get an ending.
Yeah, and they said they wanted to do it like Endgame. They didn't want to leave you guessing because Endgame ended it. If you did not watch another MCU movie, it's all done.
You're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and they wanted that feeling to be like we've come to our planned conclusion.
Yes.
Instead of being like, oh, what is that new monster? And we'll never see it. Like,
yeah. Which is too bad because Destroya is super cool, and that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I hope that we get an actual Kong sequel since we own the rights to that in America.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll be very sad if this is the end of our American Godzilla now that we finally got it right.
Yeah.
As right as we're probably ever going to.
Exactly. That's fair. For me, it's like, yep. You know, if you want to put more Godzilla movies out there, my wife's going to be happy, and so I'm happy. Go for it.
I mean, even if Toho does their version and we just go back to more classic people in suits punching it out, I'm not against that either. But
no, but I do like the look of him. I like the look of American Godzilla. He's fun and scary. And he's all chubby.
He's all chubby. I mean,
Chunkzilla.
Chunkzilla. All right, Chunkzilla. On that note, we are absolutely Marvel in DC, bringing you our review of Chunkzilla versus the swimming ape.
Yeah.
We love the movie. We'll see you guys next time right here. You know what? Let's start this as a fun series, Sal. Give us a movie in the comments down below, and Sal and I will try to watch them every 2 to 3 weeks and do a fun review of any movie. Any movie. Please make the next one Flubber.
No!
Oh, come on. That'd be hilarious. We review Flubber.
I don't want to watch Flubber.
It's on Disney Plus.
I know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode of Absolutely Marvel in DC. I'm Benny. That's Sal. Have a good one.